We're men in tights. We roam around the forest looking for plants.
This is every business owner's worst nightmare. Their hard-earned money taken away and given to the poor.
A woman of your beauty has no need for such decorations.
Some months ago, Xi Jinping announced that he wanted to increase the wages of China's poorest citizens and adjust excessive incomes, all in the name of common prosperity.
取得更为明显的实质性进展。
Common prosperity is President Xi's new catchphrase. It's basically his plan to narrow the gap between rich and poor and redistribute wealth across the country. To achieve this, China has started to crack down on its biggest and most well-known companies, either for allegedly breaking the law or creating social problems of some kind. Earlier this year, regulators slapped retail giant Alibaba with a $3.8 billion fine, the highest ever handed down in China, for breaching competition laws. The ruling came after its billionaire founder Jack Ma criticized China's financial system in a controversial speech.
但是中国的问题，我认为正好相反。我的当铺思想要依靠信用体系的发展。
It is a bit of a risk for people to be included in the rich list. Apparently, once you're included in the rich list, you're more likely to get into legal troubles.
One industry that's created quite a few billionaires is the tutoring business, taking advantage of a hyper-competitive education system. But the industry was decimated almost overnight when radical laws were introduced, banning tutoring companies from earning any profit.
Meituan Dianping is China's leading e-commerce platform for services.
And China's version of Uber Eats, Meituan, is reportedly facing a massive fine for exploiting its delivery riders. It's no wonder Chinese tech stocks have been absolutely pummeled. Their value has plunged by more than $1 trillion this year, and that's why Shanghai and Hong Kong markets are doing much worse than everyone else. And the billionaires behind them have seen their personal wealth drop by $100 billion.
In a way, it's kind of funny. I mean, if you thought this was a big problem, why didn't you do it before? Because you are the power. Like Robin Hood was trying to do that against the existing power. Here, the existing power is saying, wait a minute, why are you becoming so rich? The question I would have is, didn't you notice before, you know?
Well, the Chinese government has definitely noticed now, and to avoid its wrath, there's been a sudden surge of generosity lately. China's richest and most high-profile tycoons have pledged to give away billions from their fortunes to charitable causes for the sake of, you guessed it, common prosperity. Common prosperity isn't a new concept. It's been around since the 1950s, when Chairman Mao was in charge of a much poorer and more socialist China. But when Deng Xiaoping took over in the late 70s, he decided that the economy would grow much faster if he allowed some people to get rich first, and worried about equality and socialism later.
Such a visible hyper-inequality can lead to social unrest. And for the Chinese government, social stability is very important.
China has long been maintaining social order through its strong economy. But after decades of blockbuster growth, its economy has slowed down dramatically, a trend that began even before COVID. But it's still performing much better than many other countries. On top of that, the 20th Communist Party Congress is just around the corner, where Xi will almost certainly be reinstalled as president for his third term. And with another term comes renewed pressure to have a vision for the future, like a grand plan to boost China's economy and fix up its worsening inequality. But that's easier said than done.
I actually think what China is trying to do in itself is not a bad idea. Because when you become richer, you need to distribute, you need to give better opportunities to your people.
But it's a fine line. Other economists have warned that if China goes overboard with heavy-handed regulation, it might get in the way of innovation and economic growth, and lead to common poverty instead.